episode of your training, and here we'll be talking about a topic that is concerned with paragraphing, yes, formatting of paragraphs. So we'll be discussing on the following. Yes, this what we'll be talking about. Yeah, before I forget, I remain Gideon, and I'll be teaching you on this topic. So the first uh, area that we'll look into is aligning of text. Yes, we'll be aligning text either left, center, right, or we'll be justifying text. Just justification of text is very useful, especially for novel writers or document presenters. Once you're writing a document, some of most documents are ideally written so that you use the justify alignment. So to begin a new page, in this new page we'll talk about the first one. As you can see, we'll say alignment of text or align text. Alignment of text. So take for instance, this is the text we have inbound in the page. I'm going to school, and there is another line after this. Is a full stop, another line. So we'll be working on the first formatting for paragraph or paragraph formatting. They said we are aligning, and we have four of them. One is to align left. As you can see, the text here have already been aligned left. Now let's align center, let's align right, let's align to be justified. So for the left, we are already in left, like I said. Now if you want to align right, you are highlighting. You select the text you are aligning to any of the areas. Remember, to align left, you use Ctrl+L, or you select this. To align right, you use Ctrl+R, or you select this. And to align center, you use Ctrl+E, or you select this. To justify your alignment, you use either this or you click on Ctrl+J. Okay, let's start. Ctrl+L has been sorted out already, and Ctrl+E is to align center, and Ctrl+R is to align right. As you can see, it has moved to the right, and from center, which it was just now, it has moved to right. To have a justified alignment is Ctrl+J, and Ctrl+J only becomes fully visible when you have I believe a complete document. I mean a document where it is filled up both in left and right position. So even if you are using a justified alignment now, it will not be completely visible. And here is the second one. It says that we are going to learn about control line spacing. Yes, their indent spacing. There are two actually, and we call them line and paragraph spacing. But here we are talking about line spacing. Yes, for line spacing, it's the spacing that is concerned with uh, one line of text against another line of text. Is different from paragraph, so they are two different things entirely. This is where you coordinate such text. It's from here. Yes, you select and you see from here between one line to the next. You see the numbers, the measurement. You can select and set it up, and from here you can set it up on 1.0, or you can use a line spacing option from here to try to set up to give it a very good measurement. And also you can make it up in such a way that your text are in line with how the document is required. That's from here, and that's that. Next is now you are adding indent. We have first line hanging or left and right indentation. By indent we are talking about is either you are increasing indent or you are increasing indent or you are reducing indent. If you are increasing indent, you are taking it to the right, and if you are reducing indent, you are taking it back to the left. Some persons use indent as a means to initialize a paragraph. Yes, or like yeah, some persons don't decide to use a tab. I mean something like this. They won't prefer to click on tab because tab will set a little cost for a small space to start up their typing, while others will decide to make use of a tab by clicking this. Sorry, not tab, I mean by selecting increase indent. And any one you use can be useful depending on how you use it. So you use it the way it should be used and not against the rule. And as you can see, it also left a space where you can start typing. As you can see, it's well arranged. So, and you can keep on typing. There's a difference between tab and indent. For indent, if you don't go back or use the indent, it might keep on typing from the line that you stopped. Yes, it won't go back. But for tab, by the time you get to the next line, it goes straight to the home line that was measured. And by that, this is what I mean. Take for instance, you use tab and you write something like this. You see, it started from the next line immediately. But once you are using a tab, let's go back. Once you are using a tab, once you click on tab and it takes you straight, and you get to the next line, you see it starts from the home line from previous, and you can keep on typing. See, so it's quite different. So they are both useful and can be helpful too. So go to the next, depending on what we have next, and here it says that you can create and use tab stops. Yes, tab stops, and we actually dealt on that just now. And next is borders and shading to paragraphs. Borders, we are adding borders and shading to what? Paragraph. And when we talk about borders and shading, we are talking about that area where you feel like you are giving your text or your paragraph a sense of belonging. when the points are listed. And here the difference between I say one is sorry, for your shading, it relates to you covering your write-up with a painted color. So this is what they are talking about, giving it a color that looks like you are differentiating that very point from other points that have been listed or whatsoever. And for the other one, which is called shading, borders, this is shading. For the borders, it's all about you giving it a for the borders, it's all about giving it a demarcating a point from other points depending on how you are setting the borders. Is it top, below, whatsoever, or you are setting an all round border for your paragraph, and it's quite useful. And mind you, there can be line borders, and there can be what paragraph borders too. Look at here, we have the styles for such uh, uh, for further formatting. For the borders, you can change the color, you can increase the width, and you see you can bring them out from the preview so that you know what your selection panel is. So this is where we have it all. You are applying, is it to text or to paragraph? If it is to text, then we are talking about lines, and then if it is to paragraph, then you know you are talking about the full points that were listed. So you execute and you see the response. That is for the uh, sorry, that's for the borders, and we earlier discussed about the shading to what paragraphs. For what's in a paragraph shading is all about you being given a task. Yes, as you can see, I mean work with paragraph spacing. It's all about you being given a task, and you are able to use all these tips to make sure that your points are being sectioned properly, and not just properly, but professionally to be in line as required. So it's very useful, and it's very good to make sure that your points are given a demarcation from each other, and giving them a good sense of arrangement will actually portray professionalism. And so we'll be looking at the mistakes to avoid. The first mistake to avoid here, as you can see, is a mistake of pressing enter twice. As you can see, pressing of enter twice for paragraph spacing. Yes, for paragraph spacing, you are not advised to use the key enter. By enter, we mean by clicking on the enter twice just to have a paragraph spacing. It is not what you need, but to have a paragraph spacing, you must select the area you are working on, then you select this. Yes, it's all about the line and paragraph. Are you removing space or adding space after a paragraph? It's all here. If you are adding, you know you are adding. If you are removing, you know you are removing before or after a paragraph. And next, we talk about the next mistake. It says using space, and here they say create hidden blanks. Sorry for the first one. Creates hidden blank paragraphs that messes up what formatting. Yes, that's what clicking of entering more than once or twice also causes. And to fix that, we use paragraph spacing before and after. That's what I illustrated. And next mistake that you have to avoid is using spaces to align text. If you use space to align text, that's also another problem, as spaces are different sizes in different fonts. That's true, and these tend to make your work so unprofessional. To fix this, you have to use tab or tables for alignment. Yes, tabs are very useful in this situation. So you should avoid inconsistent paragraph spacing. What this means is that if you are being professional, you know you are being professional, which means if you are leaving uh, uh, one meter of line spacing between each paragraph, you know you are leaving one line spacing. If you are leaving double line spacing, you are leaving double line spacing. If you are leaving more than that, you should know it should be uniform amongst every other sections of the document. And the major thing is that you follow the required measurement. Here they say that some paragraphs have space, some don't, and uh, sorry, some paragraphs have space, some don't, and if they actually have even space, it makes it look professional. And fixing all these means that you have to select all and set uniform before and after values. And that takes us to the next mistake to avoid. Next mistake to avoid is overusing borders and shadings. Yes, if you have too many uh, boxes, this makes documents too look so busy or something. And to fix this, you have to use sparingly for what? Emphasis only. Yes, which means you have to use them as as should look professional and not too plenty or many. And next, you have to forget. You don't have to look into this like it's all about forgetting about windows and orphans. And here is very important too, as it says here that single lines at top or bottoms of page looks bad. Yes, it's true. And to fix this, you have to keep window or orphan control enabled, and this is um, always set on default, and it's very useful. Now if you forget about this, it's also another challenge. And lastly, the last mistake to avoid is mixing too many alignments. Yes, your alignment need to be uniform. It's very important. They said left, center, right, all on the same page without purpose is not too advisable. Fixing this, you have to use consistent alignment, and that's what they said here. Alignment should be used purposefully too, so it's quite necessary you do this. So this will lead to the end of today's class. By our next class, we'll talk about um, your more lessons to look into. So let's keep it on, and stay glued to the channel for our next uh, topic. So wish you all the best as we get prepared for our next class. Thank you very much.